Hello and welcome. This video will take a look at less well-known manners for travelers or new arrivals to Japan. Some very common ones like removing your shoes when you enter a house or not sticking your chopsticks into your rice have been extensively covered in a million other videos. So we decided to aim for some that might not be so obvious. The first point to be careful of, and this is one that I learned the hard way when I first moved to Japan, is to avoid excessive eye contact. It's quite common in other cultures to have eye contact when speaking to others, but for many Japanese it can come across as too intense and can cause a bit of awkwardness. Eye contact is okay in small amounts, but try shifting your focus of your gaze elsewhere if you see the other person looking uncomfortable or averting their gaze themselves. While this is something that does get mentioned in other videos, I did want to bring it up here because it is important, and that is how to deal with your personal trash. Things like drink bottles, onigiri wrappers, or whatever else you might use while out and about. In most Japanese cities, it can be somewhat difficult to find public trash cans due to their removal as a precaution after the Tokyo sarin gas attacks in 1995. There are two usual ways that locals deal with their trash when out of the house. The first is to find a convenience store, as they often have places for burnable trash or PET bottles. The second is to take your trash home with you. Many people plan ahead and pack a disposable plastic trash bag if they know they'll be eating or drinking something while out. Public displays of affection like hugging or kissing or heavy flirting is frowned upon in public. In the nightlife districts, after people have had some drinks, it isn't rare to see, but for the most part, Japan is fairly conservative about public displays of affection. Holding hands is pretty common to see with couples, but much beyond that will get you side eyes and uncomfortable glances from those around you. It's best to save that kind of thing when you're somewhere private. One thing that has become a bit of a problem in this area of TikTok and YouTubers is people making excessive noise in public places, particularly in cramped quarters like inside elevators, trains, and buses. In confined spaces, it's considered good manners to be silent, or if you must speak, to have conversations quietly so as not to bother the people around you. In particular, phone conversations in these places should be avoided. Outside, it's a bit more forgiving with volume levels, unless the behavior is a nuisance for others, like playing music without headphones. The next point to be careful about is respecting personal space and limiting physical contact. It's very common in other countries and other cultures to have physical contact during interactions, like hugging or kissing someone on the cheek as a greeting, or touching someone's arm or shoulder mid-conversation. Even handshakes generally aren't used unless doing business with foreigners. In many cases, physical contact is uncommon outside the family unit or with close friends. Many Japanese would be taken by surprise at sudden physical contact from someone outside of those groups. So, if you're used to a lot of contact in daily life, this is one to be particularly careful of. Next is regarding manners around taking videos and photos in public places. This one kind of goes on a person-by-person basis. While it isn't rare to see people taking photos and occasionally recording videos, privacy is taken seriously in Japan. The majority of people aren't going to complain if you're taking photos or videos around them, but in rare cases, someone may approach you after a photo and ask you not to save it if they don't want their photo taken. Be especially careful taking photos and recording around other people's children. Also, taking photos where a stranger is the subject of the photo should not be done unless you ask for permission first. Tourists in Kyoto have been making geisha uncomfortable for years by taking photos without asking, as one example. This next point is relatively minor, but nevertheless is something to keep in mind. Try to avoid openly handling money when you aren't using it for a purchase. Obviously, taking out cash at a register, a vending machine is fine. but taking out a stack of bills and counting them while walking down the street is considered to be in bad taste. Money, or lack thereof, can be a sensitive thing for some people, so try to avoid flaunting it. That aside, while Japan is pretty safe, it is also in your interest to not advertise that you're carrying cash, as there are still pickpockets in Japan who can and will target people they know are carrying cash. After making a purchase, it's best practice to take your change and put it away in your wallet or purse before walking away from the register. The last point about manners for today's video is to avoid strong scents in crowded places. Some people are sensitive to strong smells, and when people are in confined spaces, they are often unable to move away from irritants. The obvious culprits in this case are applying too much cologne or perfume, or not using sufficient deodorant to mask body odor. Additionally, taking something like hot to-go food on a bus or train is somewhat insensitive. Sure, I think your fried chicken smells great, but now I'm hungry and want to eat fried chicken that I don't have. Thanks for watching our video on less well-known manners to be careful of in Japan. If you're interested in Japan and would like to see more videos on Japanese culture, feel free to take a look at our Culture Videos playlist on this channel. See you next time.